Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Divine from Keeping Up with Divine. Thank you for coming if you're a return subscriber. Thank you for coming if you're new, and welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for content every Friday, 6 p.m. UK time. For those of you who don't know, my name is Divine and I run this channel. I quit my job last year in January to embark on a journey of self-employment, entrepreneurship and being an employer. And this is a virtual diary of the things I'm learning, things I'm finding out, just kind of how life looks in my new roles, and kind of walking you through it, the do's and the don'ts that I learn along my journey. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and be here with me every Friday, 6 p.m. So without any further ado, let's get straight into today's video.
Been through the hell and the wire. It didn't quench my fire, so I chewed up the thing, but you can't match my style. Once we touch down the spot, oh my, say less big.
So today's video is just going to be a quick one, and I'm going to be discussing 3 quotes which I've been hearing from people who are entrepreneurs or building some sort of success for themselves, or whatever you want to call it. So the first quote is, I don't listen to people who haven't made it, or I won't listen to people who are not already successful and stuff like that. Now, my thoughts on that quote is it's very naive and it's a big way to play yourself, because I just feel like for you to discount so many people from having an opinion or advice that can help you is so detrimental to you and your growth. For you to feel like you only want to listen to people who are successful and people who've made it, those people came from somewhere. They haven't always been successful. They haven't always been gone clear. They haven't always been where they are. They haven't always had the finances to prove that they're successful. It's possible that someone has better advice for you who hasn't made it, or is in a less privileged position, or whatever you want to call it. And if you don't listen to them, then like I've been saying, you are actually playing yourself. There's so many people who have so much knowledge, who have so much wisdom and advice to give in business or in any area of your life that you want to get into. It's just sometimes they don't have the resources. There may be someone who knows everything about stocks and investment. They've spent time and time researching it, but they don't have the money to actually invest for themselves. A lot of people just want to listen to people who are already successful. So for me, I don't agree with that statement whatsoever. I will listen to anybody and any advice they give me, and then you filter the advice. Someone successful might give you advice that doesn't fit your circumstances. If someone successful tells you invest £1 million and you'll become a billionaire, do you have £1 million to invest? If you do, then great, do it. Do you know what I mean? But majority of people don't. Who are you going to listen to now? If your stance is, I only listen to people who've made it. You understand what I mean? The second statement is, I'll sleep when I'm rich. Oh, this one just is so wild to me. There's people who believe you have to sleep 2 hours a night, 4 hours a night, 5 hours a night, or, you know, you have to be awake at 6 a.m. if you want to be successful. You have to be awake at 4 a.m. when you want to be successful. I don't believe that success has a time constraint where it's like, if you are awake at 4 a.m., that's how you become the top 10%, or if you are awake at blah blah time. Sleep whenever you want to sleep, as long as it doesn't affect your business hours. If you're a night trader, then how on earth are you going to wake up at 6 a.m.? It just doesn't even make sense. And also, sleep is so important for your health. I think that's such a toxic thing to say and such a toxic message to perpetuate, because sleep is important. We need sleep. If you know you thrive and work best at 8 hours sleep, have 8 hours sleep. Don't listen to people who are telling you that if you sleep for 8 hours, you could be spending an extra 4 of them hours being successful, blah blah blah. With me, that could never work. If I sleep 6 hours, guys, the rest of my day is a write-off. I need sleep in order to function and be productive, and I'm sure I'm not the only person. People say these things, and I feel like most of the time it's supposed to serve as a motivation for people who are genuinely oversleeping and doing a madness, but not everything has to be taken literally. And I don't like this statement, I'll sleep when I'm rich. Sleep is for the weak, sleep is for the successful. Guys, have your sleep. It's very important, and this is a very toxic message, in my opinion anyway. And the final statement is, we all have the same 24 hours. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the uproar that has been happening over a certain lady saying this statement. Now, at first hearing this statement, I was thinking, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, we do all have the same 24 hours. But upon reflection and listening to people and watching people, it's actually such a wild thing for her to say as a generalization, because where she was coming from was saying she has the same 24 hours as Beyonce. That was serving as motivation for her. But for example, when our parents, those of us who our parents were the ones who brought us to the UK, when they came to the UK and they were working in grape factories, drink factories, working in like bakeries, warehouses, you know, those kinds of jobs, of which there's nothing wrong with these jobs, but they have degrees and qualifications that allow them to be nurses, doctors, social workers, or whatever it is they studied in their home countries. You can't tell me they have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. Of course, they have the same 24 hours in the sense that, we all have 24 hours in the day. But it's like someone who has no kids, no responsibilities, living with their parents, doesn't have the same 24 hours as their parent who has to work to pay for their life, to pay for their food, to pay for things like that. It's like by the time your parents, I'm speaking about parents because this is something I know personally for those of us who have parents who were the first generation in the UK. They first have to work to keep a roof over their children's head. If their children are even in this country, they have to work to bring their children into this country. If they're not, they have to work to feed their children. They have to work to clothe their children. That will probably take 10 hours of their working day, or however many hours it takes out of their working day. And then only after that can they start thinking about luxuries. So you can't tell me it's the same 24 hours as someone who's living with their parents. My working hours are not the same as my mum's working hours. It's so insulting for me to turn around, or for anyone to turn around and tell people or generalize that we have the same 24 hours, because it just doesn't work like that. So that's my thoughts on the statement of we all have the same 24 hours. I just think it's so toxic. People throw it out as a naive term or something they've read in a book or something they've heard because it sounds cool and it sounds like, yeah, this is motivating. But you just have to be careful. And also us as consumers, we have to be able to filter out things and put sense into nonsense. And I think that will take you very far. Don't believe everything you read. Don't buy into all these quotes. Take it, analyze it for yourself and decide if it makes sense. If it makes sense, great, apply it to your life. If it doesn't make sense to you, then just leave it. I'm planning on doing videos like this more often because I feel like there's so many toxic quotes and information that's being thrown out there that can make people feel really bad about themselves. And my hope for this channel is to encourage people in business, in life, and in whatever makes you feel successful. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you share this video to someone. You never know who might need to hear it or who may have heard one of these quotes and have been thinking less of themselves, or whatever they're thinking about it. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, do let me know down in the comments because I'm down to hear it and I'm always willing to change my opinion. So that's all for today. Thank you so much and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.